Hello guys, this is the third episode of our practical React Redux series. In this video, we will save our Redux state locally with the redux-persist package. Basically, in most cases, we need some sorts of user credential to store for future, or we store user preferred settings locally with the local storage like dark mode or user token for authentication. And storing in local storage with the JavaScript native local storage API, that is fine. But I feel if we have simplest way, why do we have to go with the broken road? We will be starting from where we left in the last video. If you haven't checked the last video, I have set up Redux and also asynchronous action for data fetching. You can check those out, link is in the description. Now, let's get into it. As usual, before everything, we need to install a package that will be used throughout this video. You can use this command to install redux-persist package. Now, inside our wrapper component, Redux wrapper, we need to import Persistor and persist reducer from redux-persist. And the storage from redux-persist lib storage. This is basically the local storage. You can use hidden storage also. I am not going into that. You can explore more. And for integration with Redux, we need persist get from redux-persist integration React. And now we need to set up config for the persisted reducer. The config will have these properties: key, storage, blacklist, whitelist, and state reconciler. But for the base setup, we will set up what we needed, and later in this video we will discuss all these properties with nested persist. And now for our config, we will have a key that will be used to store and fetch from local storage, and storage. The storage will be used to store the data. Now, set up our reducer. We will pass our root reducer with our config inside persist reducer function, and then it will create our persisted reducer. And then we pass our persisted reducer inside our create store method in the place of root reducer. Now let's create our persistor. To create it, we need to pass our store inside persist store method. And now, for getting everything working, we need to pass our persistor inside persist get. This will use as a door to fetch the data from storage and save the data internally when data changes. And it also takes another argument, loading, for the fallback. We can pass a React node inside it like any loading component or null. But for now we will pass this. We have finally set up this. Let's check whether it is working or not. And now inside our storage, that is inside the application tab of our browser dev tool, we have the data, but there is no user data. As I click on the button, we can see it is updated and store it. And after a refresh, the data doesn't change or deletes. So it is working, right? Now let's discuss other properties. Blacklist. As the name suggests, this will blacklist all the reducer passed inside it. Let's pass our user reducer inside it. We will pass the key that we have used inside combined reducer, that is the user. And now in the browser, we can see inside storage, the user doesn't exist. And the user data clears after a refresh. And now it's time for the whitelist. As the name describes, it will store only the state of the reducer passed inside it. Now let's check if we pass the task, what happened. As we can see, it will store only the task in the storage. And if we refresh, user data clears because the user data is not inside the storage. And now other property like state reconciler. I am not going to show it into action. That will make the video long and overwhelming. You can explore it. At last, there is another topic, nested persist. As we can see, there is some state that we don't want to keep inside storage. So we need another config for that reducer. So inside our user reducer, we do not want our loading error or is error state. So let's create our config and the key will be user. To save only the user info state, we pass only the user info in the whitelist property. We can also use the blacklist property, but that will be long. And now inside combined reducer, we pass our config and the user reducer inside persist reducer method. And now Let's check inside our storage everything works or not. As you can see, it doesn't store the other state we don't want. So we have successfully persisted our Redux store and use it very efficiently. Hope this video helps you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will be creating more videos about professional and practical approaches for building web app. And if you like the video, please like it. That motivates me a lot. See you again in the next video. Until then, keep creating, keep learning.